there. But don't worry, I still have my good looks. Bonnie, New York City, the great WABC. Go.
Hi, Mark. Thank you so much. You've got a voice, and thank God for that. I'm with you all the way. There's one question I would like to ask.
Yes.
Why are the politicians in Washington doing nothing about having all of our jobs manufactured in China? My daughter and I are so sick of picking up everything from a toothpick to a coat that is not manufactured in China. It's ridiculous.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I try to avoid it. You can't always, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not because it comes from a foreign country. It's because it's crap. They have stuff in the drywall and in toothpaste and in dog food. I try not to touch the stuff myself.
I know, it's hard. It's hard. But what do the lobbyists do? Do they shut these guys up? Do they give them money? Do they?
You know what? It's not a lobbyist thing. Let me tell you what it is. We owe them $1.1 trillion. It's a big government thing. I mean, we spend all this time talking about what national security means, eating less tasty cakes. No, that's not national. What's national security? Slash the size of the central, federal, bloated, fat Washington government, and that way we slash our debt to these foreign countries like China. Excuse me?
Get rid of the bloat.
Yes, well, thank you for your call. God bless us. All right, let's keep plowing ahead, shall we? Let us go to Derek on Long Island. Boy, New York's wide awake today on WABC. Where are you, Los Angeles? Come on in. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Hello?
Mark?
Hello.
Hey, Mark, I'm in Long Island.
Congratulations.
How you doing, sir? Thanks for all you do.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
I'd like to talk about Democracy in America, Alexis de Tocqueville. I want to thank you for turning me on to a great book.
Stunningly great, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. It's as good as Liberty and Tyranny.
No, it's much better, but thank you.
No. But there's some real interesting stuff. Like the success of our democracy, he broke it down into three main causes: the geography of the land, our laws, and the nature of the people. Now, these are three things that we had that are all under attack, and it's interesting because the Middle East.
And by the way, notice he predicted they'd be under attack.
It really is. Like you said, it's hundreds of pages of genius.
Yeah.
But the things that we had are all under attack, and these things, everything that we have, the Middle East doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
We had a natural moat to impede invasion and cultural infusion, which is gone. Our laws are under attack.
Well, one of the things he also talks about, my language, we had a clean slate. In other words, we didn't have 5,000 years of repression. We didn't have feudalism. We didn't have a monarchy on our continent. Excuse me. Even though it tried to reach into the colonies, we, look at the Middle East. We didn't have thousands of years of tribalism, all these things. And so that's why America in particular was very intriguing to him.
Yeah, the Anglo-American beliefs, and the people believed when you were poor that you just lived a simple life. It was, you were believed to stand on your own feet. You were responsible for your own actions. A lot of that is under attack.
The America he describes there, a lot of it's gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's very clear that we're so different than Europe because in Europe they expect this heavy bureaucracy telling them what to do and how to do it. And in America, he talks about really the government being in the background. It's there, but it's kind of in the background. Remember?
Yep. There's one interesting thing, though, that does come to mind, and, I don't know if it'll have any success, but he said people are like children. When they see liberty and democracy in another place, they want it for their own. That's the little beacon of light that, maybe the Middle East, if they're lucky and guided, that'll help them, but...
There are so many forces in the Middle East, historic forces of, to use an overused word, of evil, of treachery, of bloodlust. It's just a tough situation, and I think Tom Sowell is onto something there. But of course, I've said a similar thing in the past several weeks. But tell me, Derek, how many talk shows do people come on and discuss Alexis de Tocqueville?
None. I have a couple other things, man. I don't know if you have time for me.
Now, next time, try again. Don't use it all up at once. Keep us waiting.
Sir. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. Take care. Seriously. Now they will, but they didn't. Frank, Gainesville, Florida, Sirius Satellite. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, sir.
Just had a quick question for you. You were talking about the Wisconsin governor earlier and his budget cuts.
Right. Well, and his battles, right.
I just want to know what you thought about Rick Scott and his budget cuts, the way he's cutting 8,600 jobs from the Department of Corrections and Children and Families, and his promise to take away $1 billion from their budget.
I just don't think these governors have any choice, Frank. They have to balance their budgets. There's no choice. So where are they going to cut it? If you don't cut public jobs, then there's nothing else to cut. For me, law enforcement is cut last.
Right.
I would be targeting the paper pushers. They'd be first in some of these bloated, other bloated institutions. And then if you have to get to the rest, you get to the rest. But what the liberals do is they go after law enforcement first. Number one, they don't like law enforcement. And number two, they want it to be as painful as possible. But, you know, when you're in trouble at home, you don't pick up the phone and call the Senior Citizens Community Center Assistant Administrative Director. You pick up the phone and you call the cops. So I'm saying when you're making these decisions, when you're prioritizing, you start from the basics. And, you know, and you obviously need corrections officers because you got a hell of a lot of filth in these prisons. And by the way, I have prisoners who listen to this show. I don't know why, but they do. All right, Frank. God bless you. And lest we forget, and here's the key, who put most of these states in these positions? Mr. Producer, this is a test question for you. No, not Bush. Who put most of these states in these positions? Liberal Democrats. They spend like drunken liberal Democrats. Then they leave, and somebody else has to fix it. And they keep expanding government and redistributing wealth. Well, stop redistributing wealth. Leave us alone. Let's take another call, shall we, while we're in Florida. Chris in Fort Myers, the great Wink, W-I-N-K, our wonderful affiliate there. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just heard a comment about a lady that said everything being manufactured in China, and I believe it's because if you open a corporation in the United
First of all, everything is not manufactured in China.
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of things are. Like if you go through Walmart, everything you touch is
a lot of crap. There's no question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But if we have the first or second highest corporate tax in the world.
That's true.
If I can open a manufacturing plant in China for $1 billion, it'll cost me $2 billion in the United States, and then I'm going to have 38 different agencies constantly regulating me, nickel and diming me out of everything possible they can. Of course.
Chris, I made this point the first hour. You're right. It is the left that is chasing entrepreneurship, business activity, employment activity offshore.
Yeah, I mean,
and even listen to Obama. It's punish, attack, regulate. You know what? The hell with you. I'm leaving.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, I try not to listen to him. I can't think that low on the mentality.
You know what? It's pretty scary that, in some respects, it's easier to do business in Red China.
Exactly.
I mean, that's kind of scary.
Everything from us that they can by regulating, and I mean, I've got to pay so many different agencies to even try to open a small business.
And I want to emphasize this point because I'm running out of time. I have to do a commercial, but it's not so much that we're talking about wages and so forth. The red tape is so thick. You have to hire people to just figure out what the requirements are for this, that, and the other thing when you hire somebody, when you fire somebody, when you promote somebody. And businesses, just to get started, they rip you off with these massive licensing fees and property taxes and business taxes and transaction taxes. Goes on, and you say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I just don't want to do this anymore. Am I right, Chris? Yes or no?
You are absolutely right.
All right, thank you. That's all we needed to hear. Thank you for your call. I got to move. You have that whole song there or no? Oh, 2 minutes is long enough. All right, Maurice, Los Angeles, the great KBC. We invited KBC callers, and here they come. Go ahead.
Mr. Levin, pleasure to talk to you again, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I just wanted to call and see if you can explain one version of the left to me. I understand two versions, or maybe three versions of the left. You got the drones, and I don't have to explain what drones are. You know what a drone is.
Yeah, and since I'm the one who first applied that term to the hardcore left, go right ahead.
Okay. And then you've got the educated liberals that went to college and got indoctrinated. They really don't know.
Yes, these pseudo-intellectuals. What else?
Yeah. They want to be. They try to quote you what they know. They try to make it easy and type of guys. And then you got what I believe are the insane, the ones who have actually read the likes of Milton Friedman and Adam Smith, and yet they somehow still believe. They plow forward. I don't know. What do you think?
Well said, my friend. Thank you. What did he say? I'm not even 100% sure. He split the left into three camps: the insane, the drones, and the pseudo-intellectual. I don't think I compartmentalize them that easily. I think there's significant overlap. We'll be right back. Zach just popped up from Bloomington, Illinois. How are you, Zach?
I'm great, Mark. It's good to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
You're a great American. I listen to you every day.
Appreciate that. WRPW.
Yes, in Bloomington, Illinois.
A great little affiliate there. Go right ahead.
Well, I keep getting all these comments from these libs about how you're a hypocrite because you're a member of the union, AFTRA, I believe, and you're anti-union in Wisconsin. And so I was wondering if you could give me something that I can say back to them. So that,
okay, here you can tell them. Number one, my union, such as it is, I don't even know where their office is. I don't even know who runs the damn thing. It's a private sector union. So nobody is forced to pay me to pay my dues. That's number one. So it's not a public sector union. They're totally different.
Yes, sir.
Number two, I would love nothing more than to get out of this damn union. But they have a union shop. I can't get out as a matter of law in New York. And when we sign our contracts for employment to do these jobs, we have to agree to comply with the law, and that includes the labor laws. So how am I a hypocrite?
But, amen to that, sir.
You don't see me protesting saying, yes for AFTRA. You see me saying, what a screwed up union, let me free.
No, sir.
All right, my friend, thank you. My focus for the last several weeks has been on mostly the NEA, public sector unions and the NEA in particular, because I believe the National Education Association is run by a bunch of radicals, that they buy and pay for their politicians, that they are destroying our classrooms, and this is what bothers me. And I've been fighting the NEA, and Landmark Legal Foundation has been fighting the NEA for decades, and so I'm well familiar with them. There's one thing when you have to be a member of a union to eat. There's another thing when you're running around demanding more and more power for that union. For up to me, my union, quote unquote, would not exist. We'll be right back.